And away we go. It is the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com. It is Tuesday, March 8th. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com to download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get your delivery, get your pickup, or just stop in the store in Dayton. We're getting close to the patio being opened. Excited about that. But make sure you're getting to galacticfriedchicken.com and try out delivery. You do have to have Uber Eats to have it delivered, but you order through galacticfriedchicken.com or through the app, and they cover most of the tri-state, surprisingly, from their Dayton location, and they will get you taken care of. So do that for us, please.
Yeah.
Let's get going. We haven't had any pictures lately. Like we had a string there where like consistently we were getting, pictures from people that have gone to Galactic and letting us know. We need to pick back up on this. Because I know there are those of you out there trying it for the first time as you check out this show. Let's get to not a ton of topical stuff today. Baseball, rough day against the Indiana Hoosiers. Didn't quite go the Bearcats' way. Indiana did a good job shutting down the bats. The final, it was 7-0 last I saw. I didn't see the final.
I can pull it up while you keep talking.
Okay. I didn't see the final, so we'll just filibuster until Aaron pulls it up. It was 7-0 last I saw, and then had some Taco Tuesday action with the family.
That's the final score.
7-0 was the final.
Yep.
Just couldn't get the bats just weren't quite there today for the Bearcats, but that's what 3-2 against the Big Ten this week, so not terrible.
Yeah. I mean, and that's coming a
4-2.
4-2. You're right. Coming a game after they scored 16 runs. So
sometimes you're hot, sometimes the bats go cold, especially a cold Midwestern day.
Yeah, the weather's certainly different.
So yeah, let's do some football talk. We've got a couple more days of spring practice this week, and then spring break. Then the Bearcats will get into their normal routine when they return from spring break on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday practices. So stay tuned. I will be there tomorrow. Might not be a full gamut of things because Sports Information Department is all headed to Dallas, Fort Worth for the American Athletic Conference Championships. So technically closed to media, but that's because the media, the rest, Justin and Keith and all those guys are going to be in Dallas. I'll be staying behind. So I brokered my way into practice just to be an observer. Probably not going to have the interviews and whatnot, what have you, but I'll be there. Mock draft stuff, because the combine was this weekend. So things are starting to shake out. We're starting to see kind of a reshuffling of things from the combine.
A flurry of activity today in the NFL, just in general.
Yeah, big day of the NFL with Aaron Rodgers returning to Green Bay, Russell Wilson going to Denver. Woo. A lot of franchise tags going out today. Jesse Bates went out yesterday. But Dane Brugler, who's one of he works for The Athletic. He does the massive draft preview every year that, covers all 7 rounds and all the pertinent prospects to keep an eye on. He released his mock draft 3.0 today. Mm-hmm. Kind of the similar theme that we saw from the combine, right? Like the Sauce Gardner obviously solidified CB1. Like I have a hard time believing there's anyone that's going to go above Sauce at the first spot, the first corner taken.
Not unless you're completely enamored, head over heels for whatever reason.
Yeah.
With Stingley, does it make sense that you would go with Stingley over Sauce. I mean,
I don't even know that Stingley's CB2 right now. It just out of sight, out of mind so much on him. I'm trying to look. He in this mock he was 12th, so he was the second cornerback taken to the Vikings. I know Trent McDuffie has made up a lot of ground from Washington on Stingley as well, so he could even be corner number 3. But if you're taking a corner first, all signs point to that corner being Ahmad Sauce Gardner. The
hell are you watching? Where your voice is all the way over here?
I mean, I'm not moving any different.
No, it's when you turn your head like that,
like this.
I know your TV's over there. And
I'm keeping an eye on the NKU Horizon League Championship.
Oh, game. my Wright State Raiders.
They're up 2 with 158.1 left. NKU was in control. They were up by 12 or 14 points there for a portion of the second half, and then Wright State made a furious charge back to take the lead, and we're in the final minute. So I do have a little bit of an eye on that one. But yeah, I mean, kudos to Sauce, man.
They have Sauce going top 5 to the Giants. I don't know if you've actually mentioned where he went in this.
Yeah, I was getting to that before you started complaining about my voice here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Now I can't hear you at all. There's the mute button. I don't. There you go.
How's that?
That's better.
Now when I turn my head, you should still be.
That's much better.
Okay. Happy to oblige. Number 5 to the Giants. Number 7 I've seen I think McShay or somebody put out his today that Sauce is at 7. The consensus being Ahmad Gardner is going to be a top 10 pick.
Absolutely insane.
I know. It's so crazy. We were talking about the other day. It's maybe for a guy that has a lot of success. It's maybe the number 1 prognostication in Brandon Sosna's entire career. First day of Higher Ground, first look at Sauce Gardner. Brandon Sosna, who's now the associate AD at USC with Mike Bone, looked at him and said, "That's a star." And Justin and I were like, "He weighs 112 pounds. Like, what do you? He looks like Bambi. What do you mean that's a star?" He was like, "You don't find that length, you don't find that size, like you don't find somebody that fluid. Like that's an NFL starting outside cornerback." And we were like, "Okay, dude, whatever you say." Like maybe he'll get there in 3. Maybe he'll be a starter by his junior year, and we'll revisit. And Sauce had other plans. So kudos to Brandon on nailing that one, because it was as elite a projection as you will find. Dez in Dane Brugler's mock draft 3.0. Here we go, Aaron. 12 seconds left. NKU up by 1. Ooh. Wright State with the bucket. Wright State leads by 1. 10.5 seconds left in the Horizon League Championship. Winner advances to the NCAA tournament.
Go Raiders.
Aaron's on pins and needles. Des Ridder, 32nd. Detroit Lions. Had the Lions trading back up into the first round. Or trading somehow with the Rams to get that pick. And
no, they didn't have to trade with the Rams. That pick,
they already have that.
I think that was part of the Jared Goff for.
Okay, yeah. You're right. And then gives the Lions kind of their quarterback in the future, because they have Goff there for now, which I think
you don't have to force feed. You don't have to force feed Dez.
Yeah, ideally that's a situation like you don't want to see him go to the Lions.
No,
because that's as bad a franchise as there is in football right now.
Perhaps,
but it would be in terms of like Dez becoming a starting quarterback in the NFL. It would be a situation where they would have some skin in the game, but drafting Dez in the first round, but they wouldn't have to force him onto the field early. So I think that could be a good situation for Dez.
You also have a new opening in Seattle, although Seattle doesn't have currently a first-round pick that I could see in that mock. I know at 10 it said that the Jets had the pick from Seattle, although I'm not sure who.
I don't know what trade that was.
I don't either. I think that had to do with their safety.
Okay. But the interesting part for me, Aaron,
I told
no
you
other
I think
Bearcats in the second round.
that is interesting, but I think that you'd be foolish if you're going to pull the trigger on Dez to not get him in the first round and not get that extra year of control over a very team-friendly contract.
Wright State wins. NKU misses a 3 at the buzzer. The Raiders and the Wolf mascot, which
we don't know,
doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
We never knew. Initially, the Raiders they rebranded at some point.
Right. They just didn't change the nickname.
They sure didn't. Nope.
No other Bearcats in the second round, which I think is a reality. Like, there are a lot of guys that if a team falls in love could go in the second round. I could see Alec Pierce in the second round for sure. You could see somebody fall in love with Maje if he gets his numbers, his weight back up at Pro Day. I think you could see him back in the second round because edge rushers are so important in the NFL. Darian Beavers, I could see somebody falling in love with him, and Brian Cook. But I think we have to be okay with the reality. There might not be a run on Bearcats in the second round, but if there's not, the run in the third round is coming.
The reality is there's going to be Bearcats drafted on day 2, period.
Yes,
the end.
It's just a matter of when.
Correct. So I think that's going to be the interesting part to watch for and see where guys end up falling in the third round and second round, third round, somewhere in there. I mean, it is what it is. We're all just throwing darts when it comes to late in the second, third round.
Yeah. I just don't want people to get like Cincinnati got screwed.
No, but no two
There's
boards.
Not a run on Bearcats in the second round.
No two boards are the same either. Let's be.
I know.
All the
No,
way
I'm not
honest.
saying that this guy's like what he's saying is gospel.
Right.
I'm just saying you need to like mentally prepare yourself that Sauce is going to go in the first.
Yes.
Dez is going to go first or second.
Yes.
From there, there's a lot of guys between 2 and early 4. And how they fall just is going to be a matter of, where the beauty lands.
Would you be surprised if there's still any of the 8 that went to the combine available after the 5th round?
No, I mean, running backs, I could, even as good as I think he's better than like a 6th or 7th round grade, like I could see Jerome Ford just because he's a running back.
Right.
Sliding down. I wonder about Kobe.
I wonder about Cook.
Yeah, it hurts definitely that he's got the shoulder, that he's not able to participate. But the tape for Cook is like, if you're looking for a box safety, the tape is a lot of what you need to see. But I wouldn't be shocked if like circumstances he slid.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, like you knew he wasn't going to have that elite speed,
right?
Where he's down in the 4.4s. You knew he was probably a 4.5 guy. Does that deter teams from taking him earlier in the draft? I don't know. But no, I mean, most of them I expect to go in the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a couple like, fallers that you don't expect.
Outliers, yeah.
That, after the fact kind of makes sense when you see like how safeties were drafted or how corners were drafted, especially with so many corners running so many like blazing speeds.
Sub 4.5s.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I think it'll work out. It'll be an awesome 3 days for the Bearcats. Just don't panic if there's not everybody off the board in the second round. I think everybody's looking at it and going, oh my God, everybody's going to go in the first 2 rounds.
No,
right. And getting their hopes up. Like that's generally not how it's going to play out. And so don't freak out my point being, don't freak out when you see a mock draft that doesn't have any Bearcats in the second round.
And we'll see what happens.
There probably will be, but if there's not, that's okay.
we'll see what happens with the shuffle after Pro Day anyway.
Right.
Because once everyone has their Pro Day locked in, we'll see what that all looks like, because you'll finally have some measurements and some actual drills run by some guys who just simply sat out, even though they weren't.
Cook was really the only one that sat out. Beavers didn't do the 40.
I don't mean just Bearcats. I mean across the board.
Across the board. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
True. All right, that's going to wrap it up.
Did you not want to talk about this other article?
We're already at 15 minutes.
Okay.
It was kind of we can
save it for tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll have practice. We'll hit on it. We'll go ahead and do it now for a few minutes.
Okay.
I just didn't want to do it like half-assed because we've already done 15 minutes on the draft. Best head coaching hires in college football over the past 5 years. We'll go down the list. Number 10, Sam Pittman, Arkansas. Clearly relevant as the Bearcats open the season with Arkansas in 2022. And Sam Pittman, former offensive line coach for the Cincinnati Bearcats. He's done a great job there. That's a really hard job in the west of the SEC. And he's turned them into a factor. So well-deserved. Jeff Traylor, UTSA. You know what you can't spell without UTSA, Aaron?
Nutsack.
Nutsack. You can't spell nutsack without UTSA. That's correct. Jeremy Chadwell, Coastal Carolina. Mario Cristobal, Oregon, who's now at
Miami.
Billy Napier, Louisiana, who's now at Florida. Ed Orgeron,
Ed Orgeron down in the bayou.
Ed Orgeron down. I don't have a job right now. I'm gonna hang out in Destin, Florida. We gonna hang out. We gonna do some fishing, catch some sharks.
He doesn't wear a shirt, right? Just
right.
Ever.
Yeah, for sure. Have you seen his skin?
In retirement, there's no shot that dude wears a shirt.
Have you seen his skin when he had a job? This is the crazy part, like, as you go through this list. Number 4, Matt Rule, Baylor.
Now in Carolina.
Number 3, Lincoln Riley.
Now at USC.
Number 2, Ryan Day.
Still there.
Number 1, Luke Fickell.
Oh, he's kind of a big deal. People know him.
Well, the crazy thing is Oklahoma, Baylor, LSU, Louisiana, Oregon. Is Chadwell still at Coastal Carolina? Did he not take a job somewhere this year? I don't think he did. I guess he's still at Coastal. All these guys, or most of these guys, are no longer at their university. That was supposed to be Luke Fickell, right? Like, that's the point I was going to get to. Like, 60% of this list are no longer at that school. And every time Luke Fickell was mentioned for every other job, but the number 1 guy on the list, still with the Bearcats. Love it.
Yes.
And great recognition on the worldwide leader. The best hire in the past 5 years. We knew it. It's like Sauce, right? With the 2 topics of this nightcap. Sauce, we knew long before the draft process really got started that this was a top 5 player, the top 5 prospect of this draft. Just took everybody else a little bit longer to figure it out. Now, Luke Fickell, same deal. Everybody's figuring out. And there was another list that came out today. I saw 2 lists that listed the top 20 coaches in the sport. Luke Fickell was, I think, number 7 for Bruce, or number 10 for Bruce Feldman, and number 7 for whoever the other person that did the list was. So Cincinnati has a top 10 coach. It was a top 5, the number 1 hire of the last 5 years. And that guy is going to watch a whole bunch of people walk across the stage at the NFL draft here in 6 weeks.
Love it.
That's the nightcap. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. We'll see you back tomorrow night to talk about spring football. Right here. And preview the start of the AAC conference tournament on Thursday.